Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to That Church Girl with Spill the Tea with Cookie. My sister, listen, my best friend. She only knows she's my best friend yet, but she's my best friend. That's my sister. Okay. And I just love her. So on tonight, we have come together. This is our monthly, where both of us come together as women that are in business, that has a background in HR, and we both are married to wonderful men. And we just come to and share our stories and our journeys to really educate and help women who may be thinking about getting married, are married, may be stuck, and we just here to help you and share our experiences with you as well. So go ahead, Cookie, and just let them know who you are.
Hello, everyone. I'm your girl, Spill the Tea with Cookie. You can also find me on any social media platform, Spill the Tea with Cookie. Also, I'm a YouTuber here on YouTube, so check your girl out and subscribe to your girl, that Church Girls YouTube channel. Don't just
Yes.
watch, be a part of the family. She's amazing. She comes with fresh content. She's the bomb. So if you're not subscribed, you're missing out.
Yes, and there you have it. If you have not watched any of, please go subscribe to Spill the Tea with Cookie because her and my brother, they be cracking me up. I love them. So we're going to be talking about tonight, you all, on first dates and unrealistic expectation when it comes to dating.
Mm.
Again, we are two married women, mothers, business leaders with HR backgrounds with real conversations about relationships, dating, and marriage. And so tonight we're going to be diving in with showing you telling you about stories about our first date. And so I'm going to have my sister kick it off with her first date. What was that like with my awesome brother? And what do you guys go?
Well, first of all, Sissy, I didn't even know that it was a test. He shared with me that he tested me on our first date. So, originally, I guess he used to take dating girls that would just try to be after his money because he has a decent job. You know what I'm saying? So they automatically they want his money. So, he had reached out. We were texting back and forth. We was trying to determine where we were going out to eat, right? And he's like, well, let's do Denny's. Him not even knowing that Denny's is my spot.
Come on.
Don't threaten me with a good time. So I was like, okay, we can do Denny's. And he was like, for real? I'm like, yeah, we can do Denny's. That's fine. And so we were still obviously in our dating phase. So he met me up there, and then I met him up there. Actually, he got there first because I was late. I am always late everywhere I go. I am very late. So, and I think I was about 35 minutes late. So by the time I got there, I thought he was gonna be like, I don't even want to talk to you no more. Da, 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 da. But I think he was just happy that I even came because he was like, I was a little skeptical. I didn't know if he was gonna come or not. I was like, I told you I was gonna come. But I came all down to come to Denny's. uh, so anyways, we ate, and believe it or not, your brother is funny and he's charming, and I literally did not want to leave Denny's. But Denny's don't close, so it was like a 24-hour spot or whatever. So we just honestly just sat and ate, and then he was kind of sharing with me like what he's, because my question to him was like, what are your do's and your don'ts in a relationship? Because I was just curious. And then I was saying stuff that would typically scare a guy off just to see what his reaction would be. And it didn't scare him off. So I was like, okay. Because I was sharing to him like I always wanted 10 kids. Okay. And he was like, oh, that's a lot of kids. I was like, yeah, but I only got two. But I always wanted 10. And he was just like, okay. That's different. And it didn't scare him off. So we had fun and we scheduled for our next date. And then it was like an ongoing thing after that. So what about you?
Yes. So I had just moved back to St. Louis from California, moved
Hmm.
back to St. Louis, and I met my husband Arthur, and so our first date, I was in school, and so let me tell you something. I had like other people I was talking to still, so I had to
Mhm.
like, you know, I was ghosting him for a minute. But anyway, long story short, we end up going to I was like, you know what? I was gonna get out of class. I said, meet me. Is we have a place called here in the Delmar Loop in St. Louis, the Delmar
Mhm.
Loop, and there was a restaurant called the Peacock. It's also a brunch spot. It's a 20, well, it wasn't 24 hours. It was just like a diner. It was
Mhm.
open from like 5 in the morning to 2 o'clock, and they had really great breakfast. And so we went there, and I was just like you, Cookie. I was like, we're eating, and I was asking him questions. What is his do's? What is his don'ts? And stuff like that. And then I was telling him everything that would scare him away. I was saying, like, I am not your traditional wife. I don't like to cook. I don't like to clean. I just want to work. I'm an entrepreneur. I mean, all of that. And my husband says, oh, I cook for myself. I'm a whole single dad.
Okay.
I said, ah, okay. I said, I go to church. He was like, I do too. I said, no, I'm a church girl. I'm a minister, all of that. And he was like, good. I'm looking for a praying, godly woman. And
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
all of that. And so I was like, so that's pretty much it. And then we was, ever since then, we were together like you and BJ. Like we were just there all the, like, it, every day, every day, every day
So,
we was
did you
together.
know he was your husband? Like when you sat down with him on the first date, and I know this sounds crazy, but did you feel it in your soul that this was your husband?
No, not at all. He did though.
Okay. 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 Okay.
He
So
did.
he. Okay. Okay.
When he first met me and seen me, he knew God told him that I was his wife.
Period. I love that. I
No,
love
but
that.
for me,
BJ
no,
didn't
it was
know.
not. But I did ask him though, when did he know for sure, or when
Hmm.
God confirmed that I was his wife, when he took me to his church at the time.
Okay. Okay. So elaborate. What do you mean? Like, is it that he had a feeling that overrushed him, or was it like elaborate?
So my husband was, both of us grew up in church, and
Hmm.
so he's definitely he was a deacon of a church and everything like that. And he was already praying, asking God to send him confirmation. He knew God already had told him, because he knew God told him. But he
Hmm.
wanted to, God, are you sure? And then so when he invited me to his church, he was like, would you like to come to my church? And I was like, sure. And then afterwards, he was like, he knew that to answer your question, he was just like, hey, when you said yes, that was the confirmation, because God told him to invite me to his church. And if she was
Love
to
that.
say yes, then yes. Even though at the time my husband, the church he was going to, did not believe in women wearing makeup, jewelry, all of that. And and I'm like, I wear all that. First of all, they don't believe in women preachers. I'm all of that. I'm everything that you don't that your church don't believe in, but do you believe in that? And
Hmm.
so um over time, my like, I didn't never pressure my husband to leave his church or anything like that. Over time, my husband started feeling a certain way, like, hey, why y'all, they was trying to marry him off to somebody else. But he was like, that's not what God wanted him to do. So yeah, when he invited me to his church is exactly when he knew. I don't think it was no type of unction that he felt. I think he felt that when he first met me, he said,
Hmm.
but when he invited me to church, he knew for sure that I was his person. And two, what could have scared me off, to tell me, hey, I don't want to be with you because your church don't believe this, and because the Bible does not say that you can't go to two different churches. I was like, you go to two different churches, It doesn't matter to me, but as long as we can agree that God is the head of our marriage and we're going to stick to what works for our marriage, and we'll be
Mm-hmm.
okay. But yeah,
Dang.
so for the first 2 years, we went to two different churches.
Wow.
Yep.
That's awesome. You know what's weird? Like I feel like I was the one that knew that he was my husband. Like I don't think DJ knew yet. I was so crazy. I was more like I told my best friend, and I remember going on the first date with him, and my best friend was like, "Spill the tea, girl. Tell me what you know. Tell me what. Tell me. And I'm like, girl, he's nice. You know, he's patient." And I was oh girl, my cat was staring at me. That kind of scared me a little bit. My bad. I wasn't expecting her to be right here. But I was celibate, so I was not being intimate. And honestly, because I was just dating myself when I met BJ. I was dating myself.
It's
So
good.
like he was okay with waiting. Like I was like, dang, okay. Um
Oh, he knew what he
and
was gonna
I
do. If you wait, I was hungry.
okay. 'Cause, girl,
Hey,
you ain't
these
getting
late
this
night
boom boom.
conversations, you all. This goes down in the DM. It's after hours.
Okay, look, you are not getting none of this good stuff unless we go together.
Come
So
on.
like so I had told my best friend, I was like, girl, he's cute. It's like everything about this man was what I was asking God for it. So it was weird, right? So Susie, look, I had a paper that I had wrote down like literally everything I desired in a man. And at night, I would read this off to God just so he don't forget. It's so weird because well, so mind you, I've been married 3 times, right? This is my third and last marriage. My first marriage, I asked God just for a husband. That was my big mistake because I didn't get detail on what I desired
Come on.
in a
Come
man.
on.
Okay, so the second one, I was like, you know what? I need to be a little bit more specific. I'm writing down stuff. I'm like, but I forgot to ask God for a man with integrity. 'Cause I feel like this person didn't, and I felt like he was. So I knew what not, what I didn't want. Lord, I don't want my man to be like this, and this. So it was almost kind of like God was like, okay, you didn't want, okay, but this time you need to date yourself, girl, because it ain't everybody else. Come on, somebody.
Come
And
on,
you go through
somebody.
all these people. Now, come on now, come on. I'm like, okay, God, okay. I need to date myself. And there was so many things within myself that I needed to work on. So like law of attraction is so real. I always say that. Like law of attraction, you are who you attract. So I'm like, I need to alter who I am a little bit. I need to do some self work. So I didn't trust easy. Um, I felt like I was too naive about a lot of things. I need to work on. I needed to work on that. Um, I needed to work on loving myself more because a lot of times I would alter myself to fit that person's um, expectations instead of including some of mine too. Does that make sense? We're like, it's
Right.
like, okay,
Yep.
you want me to, I'll do that. You want me to, okay, I'll do that. So I'm like, well, God's like, wait. You matter too, right? So the things that you desire in your husband and your mate, in order for things to work and for it to last, it has to be things you desire too, not just things that the other person desires. It has to fit like a puzzle. So I literally wrote down every single last thing that I desired in a husband. And I met him when I went to Denny's. That's all up and down. I told my best friend, I said, girl, he checked all my boxes. And she was like, shut up. I'm like, girl, I ain't lying. He checked all my boxes. That man, girl, and he cute too. She like, well, let me see a picture. So I ain't gonna lie, I did kind of sneakingly take a little picture of him when he was at Denny's. I took a little picture because I needed to tell my best friend what he looked like. So anyway, so she's like, oh girl, he is cute. So anyway, I was literally telling her like he check all my boxes. He gonna be my husband. I said, I think this man's my husband. She was like, so how you gonna know? I was like, God already gonna confirm with me in the dream. I have like a lot of dreams, right? And so I would tell God, like, show me signs in a dream, right? So almost like 3 or 4 days later, after our first date, Wani, I went to sleep and I had a dream I was getting married, right? So I'm walking down the aisle in this dream, and he pulled my veil back. Because first I couldn't see nothing because my veil was like this, right? And I couldn't see or make out who it was that I was marrying in this dream. Girl, he pulled my veil back, and why was your brother the one I was marrying? And I said, I woke up. That was like, girl, I woke up in the middle of the night. I told my best friend, I kept blowing her up because she wasn't answering the phone. I was blowing her up. Like, girl, you got to answer this phone. And then when she answered the phone, she was like, girl, what? Because it was like in the middle of the night. Like, when I say in the middle of the night, I mean, it had to be about 3 something in the morning or something in the morning. I am blowing her phone down. Do you hear me? She answered the phone, like, girl, what? I'm like, girl, God just gave me confirmation. That man, my husband. She was like, this couldn't have waited till I got up. I'm like, no, girl,
I wanted to tell
this
you
is
that.
emergent. Like, right, God answered my prayer. He told me what. She was like, girl, I'm gonna call you when I wake up. She hung up on me, but I was like, this is my husband. And I kept telling her. And then I think you met my best friend, Catherine. She was in my wedding. She was like, you know what's weird? I was like, what? She was like, you said that was gonna be your husband. I said, I told you. I knew it was gonna be my husband. So that's how I knew.
Yes, yes. So again, I didn't. So here's the thing. I didn't know that that was I didn't know Arthur was my husband until first of all we did marital counseling first, premarital
Mm-hmm.
counseling first. And I was like, and so just like you, I dated myself when I was in California. Like, and I studied relationships based off the Bible and all of that, and really was being a wife, changing my mindset as a wife, thinking as a wife, and all of that. And so again, and we could talk about this at another time too, because a lot of people get this misconstrued. Boyfriends don't have to take care of you. That is not what this says. Or girlfriends, that's not what it is. It says marriage, your husband. So really was just really dissecting it and just really going into, and also like you writing what I wanted in a man. I wanted a God-fearing man. I wanted someone with integrity. Because first of all, anybody that I date, you have to go to church. So don't even matter. That was like off top. You don't go to church, you don't get my number. Like we
Mm-hmm.
could be in the club all day. Do you believe in God? Oh well, you ain't my person because we ain't gonna talk about for real. Like if we get into a situation in our relationship, are you going to pray over us? Or are you gonna
Mm-hmm.
leave? And so I wanted a praying man. I wanted a man who loved God first before he loved me and loved
Mm-hmm.
himself. And Arthur was all of that, right? And so we went to premarital counseling, and we when I was walking down the aisle and my dad asked me that question, said, "Are you ready?" Tears just was like fall down my face. I was like, "Oh my God, yes, I'm ready." I was ugly crying. So yeah, I was like, "Oh my God." So yeah, definitely. So I got another question for you. On
Mm-hmm.
our first date, um, who did the most talking on the first date?
I don't know, it's kind of equal. And it was kind of weird because he told me, he was like, I'm just gonna give you a heads up. I'm not much of a talker. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, that's cool. I talk a lot. I talk enough for both of us. And he just started laughing. But it was literally like us both engaging in conversation. Because believe it or not, I can be a little shy sometimes, especially if it's somebody I think is really attractive. I'm kind of like a little shy off just a little
Kiki.
bit. Yes. So like I would ask a question and it get juicy or whatever, and then we get quiet. Like it was like that, you know. But I don't know. I think we did like, and we both evenly was talking. What about you?
Yes, we both was so. First of all, me and Arthur can talk too much, right? And so it was definitely us both talking back and forth. Him mostly though, because he was Arthur is he's older guy, and so he did not want to date another young woman. He was like,
Mhm.
I don't know what I'm getting myself into, even though God told him that he did not want to date a younger woman and all of that. So he really did a lot of talking just to see where my headspace was, and I did a lot of talking just to see where his headspace was. So it was a give and take, and we also had fun as well. And so, um, who asked who out first?
I don't even think I think we skipped that step. If I'm being completely honest. Girl, I was like, we go together. I don't know if you know this, but we go together. I don't even know if I don't even know. You have to ask BJ because I don't remember us asking that question. I was just like, so you know we go together, right? It was more like that. He was like, yeah, I was hoping you did. So it was, I don't know. I don't know, would they be media? I don't know, because I just told him we go together.
Gotcha.
And
So
then
yeah,
I
I
gave him
think
2 weeks to cut everybody off.
yeah, I think for me, I was definitely after our first date, I was trying to ghost him because I wasn't ready to let go of like my little stinky links, right? As a whole church girl, I know, right? I know, forgive me, Lord, but I wasn't ready to let him go. I
Okay.
had a man that was paying my bills. I had somebody that was taking me where I needed to go. So, I was just, I wasn't ready to let them go
I
yet.
don't know.
So I don't know. I don't say, Lord, that's why I said I ain't know. This we just gonna see where it goes. But he was just like you. He gave me. He said I had 2 weeks to figure it out, or he was gonna cut me off. And I was like, do I want? But I like his whole vibe. I like everything about him. He's what I need, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And so, um, because a lot of times we want what we want, but God always sends us what we need.
Yes.
And so with that being said, I was like, yeah. After I, finally called all of my little stinklings and let them go and tell them that I was getting in a relationship, and then next thing I know, we was getting married. So yeah. So was your first date, was it romantic or was it awkward or was it funny? Or was it all three?
Um, I wouldn't say romantic. Like
Why
he
would you
gave me
not say
flowers or nothing.
romantic? Why would you? Because y'all was at Denny's.
No, because he didn't give me flowers or anything. So it wasn't like I don't know. It wasn't like no. Uh, how sometimes men value flowers on your first little date or whatever. Like it wasn't like no mushy, mushy, mushy. But I think it was more funny. I like more of a guy who can make me laugh. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like that's DJ. He just made me laugh. Like I still get kind of little,
I
like
can tell. You
but like he
smiling,
made
y'all.
me
He ain't even on.
laugh.
He ain't even on this podcast. You smiling about it, but that's
I
okay.
know, right?
I ain't mad. Yeah, but I think for me it was more funny for us too. It wasn't really romantic either. We just was like, hey, let's just meet up and let's just see what what the vibe is, right? And so that's what
Hmm.
it was. So a lot of people get it twisted. Who paid for the date?
BJ,
Okay. Can I was trying to pay for our date. I was trying to pay for the first date.
I wasn't going. Absolutely
I
not. I would
I
never.
was because I didn't want it to be like. Let me tell you why I wanted to pay for the first date,
Okay, I'm listening.
because I didn't. But he beat me to it. Like he got up and walked. I thought he was going to the bathroom, and he got up and walked. I wanted to pay for the first date because, in fact, I didn't want him to think that this was any type of strings attached.
Okay. Okay, I feel that. But absolutely not. I'm still not doing
Yeah, I definitely was like, yeah, I don't mind paying for the first date. I don't mind paying for this date because, and then it was I don't even know how much the bill was, but it was breakfast food, so breakfast food ain't always
Okay,
expensive
okay.
either.
Yeah.
But it didn't even matter if we were were expensive. I still would have paid for the first date because I wanted to do something different. A lot of times, the guys that I were dating will pay the first date. That was my mindset. But and a lot of times when that happened, they wanted something in return. And I was on some by me dating myself and knowing who Wani is, I was like, I don't mind paying for the first date. I don't mind it at all. But he
I
beat
would
me
go
through it.
Dutch, but I'm not paying for the first date. I'll go Dutch. I'll pay my own. You pay your own.
Gotcha.
But I'm not paying for the first. Nah.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
feel like this. Like you're the guy, right? And you're trying to catch me. Because like in the Bible, it does say a man that finds a wife find a good thing,
That's right.
right? And you have to source me out because I'm not supposed to look for you. You're supposed to look for me. So this time around, I mean, remember I told you I was like working on me. Like if this man couldn't bring to me the things that I was desiring my mate to be like, no. And if I had to pay for my own food, that would have been fine. I would have paid for it, but I would have never talked to him again.
Yeah. I got you.
Because yeah, I had certain expectations that I was desiring from because I was dating with intention. So that would make a difference. Like if I wasn't dating with intention, I wouldn't have mind. You know what I'm saying?
Woo!
Like whatever. But I was dating with intention to marry. I'm not no girlfriend.
That's
I'm a
right.
wife. So like you're gonna pay for my meal. Because you're
Yeah.
my protector, my provider, my all of that. Yeah, and that's why
Absolutely.
I get it.
Absolutely.
Dating, you're like, oh no, you guys are just dating. Yes. But I feel like too, dating is the to me, I feel like dating is like your 90 days at work
Mm-hmm.
or under
Mm-hmm.
observation. So like you're training up. Like you're that test drive before you purchase the merchandise. You know what I mean? Yeah, we might just be dating, but if we're dating exclusively, why wouldn't you want to pour into me? You know what I mean? If we're dating exclusively with potential thoughts of it possibly being a marriage, I'm not telling you to to fund my life. I'm not telling you to even I don't know how to describe it. I'm not asking you to fund me, but show me that you're gonna be a good man for me, just like I have to show you that I'm gonna be a good wife for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it.
That's good. I love it. I love it. And so we're coming to the end of this close. I want you guys to think about that's watching this, you catching a replay. Sometimes our first dates aren't perfect. They're not always expensive. They're not always romantic, but or they might not always be funny, and they also may be awkward, but at the same time, it's something beautiful. You would
Hmm.
know, like Cookie said, if he hadn't had BJ not paid for her meal, she would have not talked to him anymore. And for me, on the first date, I was looking for more someone that I can trust and someone that is faithful to God. So I didn't. Yes, I understand that. Yes, I understand that men are the head of the household. All of that. As of why I didn't mind to pay for his first meal because guess what? He's gonna always be taking care of things, right? And one thing that I can love about my husband, when we first made it official, my husband sent me. We weren't even married yet, Cookie, and my husband would send me his whole entire check,
Ooh, girl, I know that's right.
and we weren't even married yet. But that let me know that he is a provider and he is a protector. Since we have been married, we have not went lacking for nothing. Because one thing I do know about God is that I love about God is when you make that vow and that covenant, and you're married to, he's going to bless the covenant. So we have
Hmm.
never went without lacking in 9 years, not struggled or anything like that. Can't wait till we be like you and BJ buy our first home. So all those, yes, we have some stumbling blocks. Yes, we have things that come up in our thing, but we have not went without because of my husband being the provider. And a lot
I
of
know
times
that's
I'm
right.
spoiled. So we're gonna leave that right there.
And you are very spoiled, as she is.
So we're gonna go right into women. Cookie, when you hear this, women and their unrealistic expectation when it comes to dating, what do you think about when you hear that?
Oh my goodness, girl, don't get me started. And he gotta pay for my bills. He gotta do my nails. He gotta get my hair done. He gotta buy me Chanel bags. He gotta, honey, baby, that's not realistic. That's not life. I mean, I hear people talk like that, and I'm like, oh wow, I know why she's single. Yeah, because that's not what life is all about. Life is literally, to me, it's about finding your life partner because it's a partnership. To me, a marriage is all about partnership. Not every time is your husband gonna be able to give you 100%, right? He might only be able to give you 50, but with your 50, it'll make 100. Or some days you might not be all the way 50%. You might only be given 20%. And your husband can sweep you off your feet and give you 80, and there you go, you got 100. So to me, it's a partnership. And I hate when people try to say a 50-50 or, oh, I need a man that does 100% because that's not 100%. That, them days is over, honey. That does not exist unless you deal with a man of higher stature, but then be prepared to get cheated on. Like, because that man can have any woman he desires, right? So if you're willing for that man to come in and give you one, pay for everything 100%, be prepared for you not to be the only woman. And that's kind of like how I think about it. Unless you get a man with ambition that has some potential, right? And work with that man to build your network because it's best when you can get a man that just have really strong dreams and ambitions and help him get the money that you guys desire to make, and then you both reap the benefits, and then you get the man that really love you because you was there because he didn't have anything and y'all built all of this together. So that's what I think.
Yeah, and it could go both ways. You could build with somebody and they still leave you too. So we don't want to keep
Hmm.
that off the table either. But definitely when it comes to unrealistic dating, we're dating. Yes,
Hmm.
I said me and my husband, we were dating when he gave me his whole check. That wasn't an expectation because I could take care of my own bills.
Hmm. Hmm.
I was a whole student. I was living on college campus, so I didn't really have a whole lot of bills, no way. And then I didn't get my hair and nails done. I could do I didn't do all that. First of all,
Hmm.
when my husband and me, I was bald headed. I had a low fade because why I did not want to pay to get my hair done. I wanted to pay my $15 to get a haircut every 2 weeks. At that time,
Pussy, I cannot.
my cousin Tim Fisher, rest his soul, was cutting my hair when I moved back to St. Louis. So I kept a low fade. When my cousin passed away, I started my locks and I cut them off because I was like, I don't want hair. This is too much. This is why I cut it off the last time. It's because I don't want to maintain none of that, right?
Hmm.
And so
Hmm.
I was not a woman that was realistic, that needed a whole lot of. I want materialistic. Is what I'm trying to say. Materialistic,
Hmm.
and I'm happy and content. Again, my favorite restaurant is Applebee's. Yes, I have been. Yes, I have been to the finest restaurants, but they food ain't good, so I want to go there.
Oh, and they give you small portions.
Yeah, I want to go there. No, I want to go there. And two, my husband cooked for us on our second and third date,
No, that's
baby.
right.
That's what I'm talking about. So you know, we're dating, we're getting to know each other, and we did fun stuff. Like we did a lot of here in St. Louis, we have a lot of free things that we can do together. So we went to the zoo, we went to go get ice cream. I love coffee. We went to Starbucks. Girl, he bought me my whole. He gave me a grande latte. What is? I don't have latte because I don't like lattes. I had a white chocolate mocha at Starbucks with a muffin. Like, and I
I
was
know
so
that's right.
content. Like, that's but that's dating. That's what you do. You getting to know each other, getting to have fun with each other. We went for his birthday the first year that we were together. We went to a restaurant and we had a really good time with my family. So that we don't want to social media and these people and other people have it to where you have they have to take you to the fine restaurant. I don't like lobster, so I'm gonna go there. I don't even like crab legs. That is a waste of time. Cracking some
Hmm.
food and getting a little bit of I want that. Take me to a soul food restaurant, please.
I
Any
know
day.
that's right.
Take
I
me to
know
your
that's
mom.
right.
If your mom can cook, take me to your mama house. So that's what I'm talking about. Those are the type of things that I like. So Cookie, talk a little bit about, about these perfect couples online.
Oh my goodness.
Social media versus
I
reality.
see it a lot. And I always say if it looks too good, 9 times out of 10 it is. But I don't know, because I don't really honestly, Sissy, I don't feed into social media because I don't find myself comparing my relationship. And I think that's where a lot of people get misled because they find themselves comparing their relationship with what they see on the internet.
Mhm.
And I'm always a big believer of people only put out what they want the world to see. And every relationship has ups and downs. Any long lasting relationship are going to have ups and downs. It's how you deal with the downs. You
Mhm.
know, everything is not going to always be peaches and cream and happy rainbows and everything else. So like, yeah, I don't know. Like, and it's so pushed, like the lavish cars and the husband that allows the wife to stay home. It's so pushed. And I think that's why so many people desire that lifestyle. But honey, everything is inflated in 2026. Ain't nobody really living like that for real. Unless unless you're a millionaire, or you have a whole bunch of money. But I don't know. I don't know. Since I got a regular old smuggler, I have a regular old smuggler life. And I'm fine with my regular old smuggler life. But I don't know, seeing all of like Ken and Dier. I don't know if you watch YouTubers, um, the couple YouTubers.
Mhm. No, I
So there
haven't.
was a so there was a couple named Dier and Ken. And oh my God, they were really big influencers and they have millions of subscribers on YouTube. And they both were a pretty young, cute couple. Everybody wanted to be like this. She's like, oh, I need to find my Ken. You see people in the comments saying they need to find them a Ken. Making a long story short, honey, Ken couldn't. I mean, Dier couldn't satisfy Ken because Ken just kept on stepping out, and because they were so eye catched, because everybody focused in on them. When he would do one little thing, the world knew about it because it would blow up all over, and she would have to go through that embarrassment. And mind you, both of them were making money. And so you kind of hit a good point though, Susie, when you said, well, you can help them get up and they can still cheat on you. Because that's kind of what happened. They kind of grew together on social media and start making a whole bunch of money. And he just kept stepping out. After a while, De'Ara's like, I'm done. I'm not about to keep going through this. And they end up splitting up. So life is not always pretty, even though social media makes it look like that. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, that's because here's the thing. Because, like, for example, like you was just saying, the world, they say they want a king, they want this, they want that, but you don't know what is going on behind closed door. He could be a whole
Hmm.
monster on closed doors. Everybody say they want a BJ, or they want an Arthur. Baby, you don't know what I labor to get with this one. You hear me? Or what
Hmm.
our household looks like on a daily. Not saying that because we have some days where we don't like each other.
I think everybody does, man.
And
And
I
they
get
be
on his
lying to say
nerves. He get
exactly.
on my. I know I get on his nerves. But at the end of the day, and also in the beginning, our first 2 years, baby, we was fighting. We was like trying to figure each other out. We was arguing because I got a mouth, he got a mouth, right? So it was a whole. I had to have the last word. He had to have the last word. So we were fighting each other, not physically fighting each other, but we were
I know what you mean.
definitely in that space because we didn't want to live shacking up with each other. We didn't want to do that. So we had to figure it out and what works for us. And so a
Y'all got
lot of
married
times,
first, Sissy? And
huh?
then y'all got married first and then y'all moved in?
Well,
Wow.
so life circumstances had changed. I had lost my apartment,
Mm-hmm.
and because I was no longer in school, so I had to find somewhere else to go. And so he allowed me to come and stay there, but he told me that I could not stay there and we're not married. So that's why we end up getting married March 1st. We celebrated 9 years on Sunday. But
Oh my
yeah,
God.
it's because
Happy
of the simple
anniversary,
fact.
Sissy.
Thank you. It's simple fact is because he did not want to be shacking up with me. He was
Mm-hmm.
like we both had said that with each other. We was like, we lived with people before and did not want to do that again. We are two Christians and that's not how we were raised. And so both of us felt guilty that we were doing that. And so yeah, he was like, you have to, he gave me pretty much ultimatum. Either you're gonna marry me or you got to move out. You want to
Yeah,
be with
I
me,
love
then
that
prove
part.
it. So it was those type of things. And so um again, and we already, like you just said, we're not gonna find the perfect partner. So
Mm-hmm.
why are we putting all this pressure on this perfect person that you think is perfect because you see it on social media? Well, that's not reality. Not
Yeah.
at all. And so also too, what you think about people creating a perfect man list? He has to have six figures. He has to look good. Has to, has no baggage. Have everything together. What do you say about that?
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna tell you what I think about that. Oh no. Women that do that, this is what I do for them. But oh, you want that perfect man, right? Okay. I got you, girl. I'm about to give you that perfect man. You want him to have a bag or something? He can have a bag. That's fine. I have him have a bag. And then I give him this.
What do you say?
It's a stick
A
figure.
sick person.
Cause honey, they don't exist. Like, girl, I'm gonna draw you this perfect man. Cause honey, that's gonna be what you waiting on. Cause that don't exist. You're not.
Yes. It do-
Get you this.
first of all, First of all, I love the fact I was watching this podcast, sister, and we got to hurry up and get off of here because we passed 30 minutes. But
Okay.
uh I was watching this podcast and somebody said they wanted a man that made six figures, that had no baggage, that was looks good, all of that, had everything all together. And this one, interviewer said, "Do you make six figures?"
And what was our answer?
No,
Like
I
I
don't make
can.
six
That
figures.
is
That's why
good.
he got to make six figures. Girl, you don't even make six figures. So how you expect your man to make six figures? You don't even make six figures.
Girl, it's the delusion for me.
And then she also asked, "Do you have baggage?" Yeah, that's why but he got some baggage, but it's on how he deal with his baggage. We all have
Mm-hmm.
a past. We all have a past. We all have done something, but how did you heal from your baggage? So
Mm-hmm.
how is he emotionally intelligent? Like, all of that type of things. Is he caring? All of that. So nobody ever says anything like that. Is he emotional and in tune with himself? How do he
Mm-hmm.
handle anger? Like, how do you even handle anger? Like, I didn't realize, like, I me and my husband argue. I ain't never seen my parents argue in front of us. And I was asking my parents, how did y'all do that? Because when I got something to say, I got something to say. I don't care who in the room. So how did y'all do that? Right? And so again, sometimes people want perfection, but forget that relationships require growth and partnership.
And hard work.
Hard work. Marriage is
Mm-hmm.
not for the weak, but it's
Mm-hmm.
definitely for those who are willing to say, "Hey, I got some baggage, you got some baggage, but let's build this together. Let's grow together. Let's learn together." I think, I know this. I fall in love with my husband every day. Something every day that he does to make me fall in love with him all over again.
Of course.
And it could
Yeah.
be First of all, I don't like flowers, so my husband, don't never have to buy me no flowers. He bought me flowers for Valentine's Day. I said, babe, they're gonna die in 2 days. He said, yeah, I know, but I actually bought them for me because my husband like flowers, so he get flowers so he could be like, I'll buy them for my wife. But so I said, I'm gonna start buying my husband flowers because he do like flowers. But I said it all to say I am content. My favorite candy is Lifesaver gummies. Baby, when in a Pepsi, my husband come home and give me some Lifesaver gummies in a Pepsi. Girl, how you want this? How you want it, baby? How you want it? How you want it? Let me bend over. All that.
I know that's right.
So, or he buy me, something to eat. Like we went to Applebee's last night.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wait, what you gonna eat? He was like, get me. I got on my meeting, we gonna go somewhere. I said, okay. First of all, when you talking about some going to eat somewhere, that's no problem. I got dressed quick. The meeting was over at 7:30. I was dressed at 5 o'clock.
I know that's right. You said ready.
He came down the steps.
Ready.
I was so dang, this girl knows she be ready when it's time to go eat and do.
I
And
know.
so we went to Applebee's. He said, this is what he told me. He said, I'm gonna take you somewhere very expensive or something like he was saying. I was like, oh, okay. We pulled up. I said, oh, we're going to Applebee's. Oh, yes, this is exclusive. Yes, that is don't ask me why I love Applebee's. I don't know why Applebee's is my favorite spot, but it is. But again, we are here to grow. And one thing I do, like my husband appreciate me when I rub his back. Like he likes to cuddle. He likes me to touch him. I'm not really a big toucher, but he likes that. But I do that. Why? Because it's a partnership. I don't want it to be where he's doing everything for me. I'm also making sure that I do everything for him as well. And that's what it's about. It's about us growing together, understanding our flaws, understanding each other, and saying, hey, how can we meet in the middle to make this marriage work? Because we ain't going nowhere, right?
I
We
know
ain't going
that's
nowhere.
right.
First of all, you can't leave BJ because I'm coming for her. I'm coming for Cookie. Even if BJ say he can't even call and politely leave my sister, I'm like, where do you think you going? You can't come stay with me or my mama.
Okay.
I listen. I don't even stay with my mom. You can't come stay with my mom or my daddy. Nobody. We are not letting you in. Go back to your wife.
I know that's
Those
right.
remarks.
Oh my.
You want to close this out? Any closing remarks?
Um, keep in mind that marriage is hard work, but it's also a lot of enjoyable moments. There's just not all bad. There's a lot of good pluses about marriage. Obviously, there's pros and cons to everything. Um, but it's a privilege to be married. I adore being married. I love being married. I wouldn't have it no other way. To have this, have a person that I could 100% trust with not just me, with my soul, my children, but also with my money, because we put our money together. So if you are considering marrying the man of your dreams, make sure that this is the one that God wants you to be with so that it can be long lasting and it can be a strong union. And that's my closing thing.
Yes, and I will close with this as well. You're those who got to have a checklist or a man list or a wife list. Create a character list. Is this
Mm.
person have integrity? Person faithful, respectful, leadership, supportive? And I'm always just giving. If you desire to have just a checklist, make sure you're doing a character checklist, not more so a materialistic checklist, where it's
Mm.
all about you and what this person has to do for you, but also have a checklist on what you can do for that person and what you bring to the table as well. I knew my character traits and what I brought to the table, right? And then we're going to be growing together. So just remember, many strong marriages are built with two people who decide to grow together. And
Yes.
remember that what we do for Christ will last. So keep God in it's three people in your marriage. Three people that my wise person who was my apostle told me in marriage counseling. Three people in your marriage. That's God, you, and your husband. Everybody else don't matter.
Mhm.
Keep
Mhm.
God first in your marriage, or whoever the higher power is that you believe in. Keep them first in your marriage and have a prayer life, and it together and separately. So again, that is my closing remarks. Again, Cookie, let the people know where they can find you at.
You can find me on all social media platforms. Spill the tea with Cookie. You can also find me here on YouTube. Spill the tea with Cookie. Don't forget to subscribe to That Church Girl, and like this video and comment down below. We would love to know like your thoughts on the talk tonight.
Yes. And so also next month we're gonna be back here around the same time on every first Friday. You can find us here, and we're gonna be talking about safe questions to ask on your first date, because asking the right questions can help you learn a lot about someone before moving forward in a relationship. Also put in the comments if you're married, what was your first date like with your spouse? And if you are not married, you're still dating, what are some things that you are going to write as a character list and not just a perfect man list? Okay, thank you so much. Again, thank you for tuning us on tonight. You have a great night.